Hey, fishy people. Just uploaded a quick video of some of my shrimp, but I thought I'd do an actual video of what's been going on. As you can probably notice, I've got Discus in these tanks now, or in this tank I should say. Very, very generous boss ended up giving these to me because he's a big Discus guy and he's really picky about his Discus, and these guys have a little bit of peppering on their head, so excited about that. Actually thinking that I might end up getting just a little bit more into Discus. I'm not 100% right now, but this tank needs to be completely scaped. It's really just holding a bunch of plants. Inhabitants right now are a couple puffers. I've got this big fat guy. There's another one that normally likes to hang down out here, and then I've got my big electric catfish, and he's big now. Maybe I can get him out so you guys can see him. Without getting shocked. Yeah, no, maybe gonna do that later. But you know, there's just it's kind of a boring tank to me. Again, I need to put a hardscape in there and put the plants where I want them. But the fish aren't really doing it for me, and these puffers are super aggressive. There's not really anything I can add with them in there, so I'm thinking I might rehome them, and this might end up being a big Discus only planted tank. Similar to this, but just the Discus, and my angels will have this one. Rest of my tank, they're kind of mucky right now. I was just fooling around. I ripped up a bunch of the foreground. All of the plants in the back had outgrown, so I had to move all of those. So the water is all mucky. This is a dirt bottom tank, so things get stirred up pretty quick. But I'm putting my Pogo Stem and Halfury down here, and some S-Rapins, a little bit of Blinks, or Blix, and the dwarf Sag was just getting too grown in, and it was covering itself, and it was growing really long, and that was giving me a headache, so I cut most of that out. I've got a ton of cichlids in here. I don't know if you can see, but these are two different generations separated by another generation. I got the big guys in there. There's just a ton of little babies. I don't know if I can find any right now, but there's babies everywhere. What I've really been into right now is shrimp. I've been adding to my collection. I just spent hours pulling out hundreds of shrimp from this tank and organizing them into these racks. Right now I've just got 13 of them full. You know, I'm gonna be filling up these two later today. This top rack might be a little bit, but they're getting there. And again, I just stocked up, so in the last video I didn't have quite as many, but these are my standard cherries, and they're nice standard cherries because all of these are pretty much painted fire red coals, supreme coals, Sakuras. You know, I get them from a bunch of different people, and what I don't like I throw in there. You guys saw a lot of these in the last video. This is a mixed tank because these guys just came in. I've got don't look super blue because I have a dark substrate, but that's a blue diamond right there. I've got black crystals, red crystals. I've got snow whites or goldens, depending upon what you want to call them. I want to say the guy that sold me these used both names, so who knows. These guys are getting split up. That's what these three tanks down here are for. I'm just holding on until I know these are nice and good to go. But these guys are not staying together. The reds, the blacks, and the whites are all getting split up. This is a different batch of whites from a different local breeder. I'm going to keep them separate just to see, you know, the differences between them. All of these, the blacks and the reds, I've got a range of S to SSS. Nothing below that. These are actually blue diamond coals. And I was kind of blown away at how red that some of them are. You know, that guy's really red, and it's kind of weird because it's not the same type of red in my cherries, and it's a nice deep red. It's almost a flesh-based red versus it all being in their carapace, which is a little bit interesting. But I've got a bunch of coals in there. My Rillies I'm low on. Everyone loves the carbon Rillies. I've been selling a ton of them. You know, that really doesn't show up well because I'm zooming in, but there's a big guy in the back. I've got a bunch of babies. Where's that baby? If I can zoom in on him. Yeah, I've got quite a few babies in there, but most of the adults got sold. I need to restock on these guys because people really like them. A ton of, what are they calling these? Blue pearls, blue velvets. I've got a bunch of them in here. These guys breed like crazy. Very active for a Neo. The standard Cardinas tend to be a lot more active than the Neos, but these guys for a Neo are very active. In this tank, standard yellows. These guys will get a lot brighter. Most of them are pretty young, but you can see them running around in there. Here I've got Sakura grade cherries. In here I've got my neon yellow Neos, or fire yellow Neos, or yellow Sakuras. These go by a couple of different names. The big difference is that on the top of them, easier to tell when you're looking down. Let's see if I can get that. They've got a very bright yellow stripe on them. I'm having a hard time focusing like that, but they've got a very bright yellow stripe on them. Tend to be a little more colorful in general. Really just crazy pop in this tank. You probably didn't even notice that I've got about 40 orange-eye blue tigers in here just because they're so bright. But let me find one of those guys to zoom up on. Orange-eye blue tigers. These are real new. Just got them in. They're beautiful. Most of these guys are pretty small, so you know, hopefully they'll be getting bigger soon. But look at those eyes; they just glow. Really pretty shrimp. This tank, my painted fire reds. You know, a lot of people, they go, these guys are common, no big deal. But you know, a nice, beautiful, big red shrimp. I think they're gorgeous. They really pop from a long way away. It doesn't matter if your substrate is white or black or whatever. They just really pop. These tanks filled today. You can see that the filters are floating. I need to go get some more some teas so I can split up my airline. Again, these are going to be for more of the Cardinas. Hopefully getting some more varieties of shrimp in soon, but that's what's going on. I still have got, let's see if they're, oh god, yeah, they're mounding. You know, I have a ton of shrimp in here. There's a bunch of neon yellows. I just got a big mix, and I've been spending days and days sorting them, but it takes a while when you've got a 100-gallon tank, you know. This is a big tank. I was just zooming in on the very smallest portion of it, but it's a big tank, and there's just a ton of shrimp in there, and it takes a long time to catch them. Here on the other side, you know, let me see if I can focus on that. You know, they're all over there, and so that's been my project recently. Catch them, throw them in there, go through them, and keep going from there. I guess another little thing, update is I'm getting a mural done. You know, not everyone's piece of cake, but I think it's cool. Young artist, customer of mine, noticed that he did art, and I'm like, hey, come paint my room. He's still working on this. He's got to fill this in, fill some of the corners in. Do a little more detail work, but I'm digging it, you know. If it's to be a fish room, why not put some fish-based art and stuff. But that's what's going on with me. You know, there's the fish room. Discus, excited about that. Still need to redo this. I'm on the wait list for a big piece of wood for it. But, yep, that's what's going on. Hope your tank's doing well. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.